Okay, everybody, it's SUPERLongD here with another more feedback, and this time around, I finally got a chance to hang out again with Pro Gamer, my man, Pro Gamer.
Yeah, that's right. I'm Pro Gamer.
Yeah,
A procrastinating gamer
yeah,
for the noobs.
and I'm D of the super long variety and everything like that. You guys know that.
Indeed.
But yeah, we're gonna sit down, and a little bit later, we're gonna record some more LP stuff, the Legends of Dragoon, and everything like that. Because I know that that's why you guys watch my channel, is so you can see, you can hear Pro Gamer doing more commentary, because you're like, he's not doing anything on his own channel right now. Well, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to that faggot Long D's channel, and there where he's doing that one thing that he only does like every so often, but he's posting it there.
Yeah, pretty
Fucking
much.
145 subscribers, but he's some kind of bitch. Anyway.
Well, it's just because I don't really feel like editing. It's just like I'll let you edit it, and I'll let you have a channel. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. I like how you mitigate stuff to me. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. But no, I don't really have a subject in mind for tonight. I guess what I kind of wanted to talk about, what I had on my mind, is like violence in video games and kind of what kind of effect it has on like children. It's kind of a long, it's kind of a drawn out subject matter though.
Well, and it's a subject matter that has been discussed throughout video game history. So I mean, I guess we're just putting our take on it, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
add into this big boiling pot of opinions.
Yeah, and
on this subject.
It seems like it, but at the same time, everybody wants their own slice of like.
Everybody wants a slice of the opinion pie.
Yeah, exactly. They want to put their own out there, and
yeah.
hopefully, they'll think hopefully people will listen to theirs, not everybody else's. But
yeah,
whatever. Which probably not will be our case. Like nobody will hear this.
Yeah.
But it's fun talking into a microphone. It's fun to do this. Yeah.
Yep. Everybody loves that.
Sound spiked. So I guess start off by saying like. Video games. I mean, I said it before. Another one of my more feedbacks. Video games are kind of an artistic creation. You know what I mean? So they'd be along the same lines as.
Sorry, was I distracting your son? No,
got some of that?
No, it's out.
Okay, damn. You steal all the scotch that you drink with a straw with ice in it. Damn you.
Okay, keep going.
No, but I mean, like, video games are an artistic medium. Like, you make them, you know what I mean, and things like that, and they're. I guess I'll start off by saying first that like people make a big stink about violence in video games because they're kids, right? I mean, and because there are a lot of things wrong with that. I mean, the first thing that's wrong with that is people consider video games a medium solely for children.
Which it didn't start out as. It started out as, in the arcades for, teenagers and young adults.
Yeah, like for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, it was a form of entertainment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
actually, I think it started out in the bars, actually.
Yeah.
Like real video games, yeah, they started on bars.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. They would have video machines set up there.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, there are very few forms of entertainment that are set up explicitly and very specifically for like one group of people, you know what I mean? Like, I just wish people would kind of take a step back and realize kind of how close-minded that is. I don't want to say ignorant. I don't want to make fun of anybody, because I never do that. But
of course not.
Yeah, of course not. But it's just kind of closed-minded because it's like it's a medium. So it's like video games, and to say like all video games are specifically marketed towards children is like saying all movies are specifically marketed towards people who enjoy comedy movies or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like it's the same. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and also, I guess this is kind of jumping ahead, but while we're on the subject of violence, another thing that I hate is the comparison between, like, we got violence, which, I mean, pretty much any form of violence. I mean, okay, there's going to be some protests, but almost any form of violence these days is accepted into a video game. I mean, just look at a game like Manhunt.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I mean, you can have the most gory game out. I almost think violence is barely an issue. I mean, like, yeah, sure, parents will complain about it, but it almost feels like I just get pissed off at like the whole like sex and nudity thing being crazy, and I think eventually we're seeing some evolution to where it's becoming more accepted. I would say like Heavy Rain, with boobies. Mass Effect, kind of. I mean, they kind of. It's like they're kind of like showing some like little like shriveled dick on that because they didn't show any titties.
Yeah.
Like I think BioWare should have stepped it up, man. Like I'm kind of pissed that they didn't step it up and like show something,
Big time. I want to see some tick old bitties and
yeah, some alien boobs or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, but I just think that it's like movies, it's like we need to evolve as a medium where people can appreciate like video games in any way, where like movies where it can be anything,
Yeah.
I mean, at least Japan they're like, yeah, we have porn games.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a huge social thing. I mean, if you go to other countries, like, for example, like, a lot of the, like, Eastern European countries, nudity's like nothing to them. They, it's like people like often go out nude in public, and it's just like, while it still might have that like shocking quality to it, like, whoa, it's a naked person. People, there's no stink about it. There's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of countries too. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not from any other country by the U.S. I've never been out. Actually, there is that. I'll get into that later.
Dude, you were imported.
Shh.
Okay.
Anyway,
from Potland.
I've never been outside the U.S., but so correct me if I'm wrong, but I know Japan is okay with this, and maybe Europe too. But like, I don't think they censor the top like on cable TV, like for girls. Like, they don't censor titties.
Yeah, not that I've heard. And there were a couple of times in like when I was really young, when I'd be staying in motels or something, and they would catch like broadcast channels from different countries, and I specifically remember a couple different times when I'd flip by like a Japanese game show or something like that, some shit like that, and they just like show like tits flopping around. I mean,
yeah,
like.
Well, speaking of, I don't know if anybody else has seen Japanorama. I'm not a weeaboo. I just was bored and I watched that. It's pretty friggin' entertaining though. Anyway, on that show, the guy like goes to Japan, and he goes to this one TV station, which is like an all pornos TV station in Japan, like 24 hours. I mean, thing is, though, they do censor the vagina.
Yeah. The pussy.
The poontang.
Yeah.
Any other words we can use for the vagina?
Well, we can say cunt if we use a British accent like that.
We say cunt or snatch.
Yeah, cunt or snatch, but we have to use a British accent.
Is British. Anyway.
Yeah.
But the point is that some other countries, I think, are more acceptant of nudity, and I wish that we were, because I mean, this is like the most oldest, but I think the most powerful argument of this whole violence versus sex thing, where it's like, yes, it's okay to, do a game like Manhunt or GTA where you just slaughter people, or like Conan the Barbarian, which is pretty cool from what I hear.
Yeah.
Where you just like slaughter people and like cut them in half and shit, but it's not okay to show a boobie.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. And what I think is weirdest about it, I mean, my kind of view on it is that both violence and sexuality, or like nudity, they're both like intrinsic human values. I mean, that's what we are as humans. We're made of like violence and sex.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
like,
that's an animalistic thing.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're, I mean, us being omnivore animals, like, it's in our blood to have meat, since we're omnivores. So, or like whatever. So, that we're violent in that sense. And, as a civilization, we have a history of violence in terms of warfare. So, yeah, violence and sex is obviously going to be in our blood, because if there wasn't, then we'd all be dead because nobody would have babies.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think the main difference with this is that like they haven't really figured out a way to normalize or promote sexual activity, you know what I mean? Because violence, as it stands, like in humanity and within like everyday social constraints, violence is kind of promoted. Like, I mean, at the same time that it's chastised, like they say, oh, you shouldn't be violent. On the same level, it's also promoted by, join the armed forces, fight for your country, that kind of stuff. And so it's equally kind of like.
And there's no sex promotion.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you never go fuck for your country.
Well, you think about this. Okay, I've been kind of getting into Greek mythology lately because I have a class on Greece and this term PSU, and I've been just like looking up random shit. And like I looked up Aphrodite. Apparently, there was a church of Aphrodite where to have sex with the priestesses or have intercourse with the priestesses was considering worshiping Aphrodite. And I was like, sign me up for that shit.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, everybody's like that. I'd like to meet one person who is like that down when you just get them, talking to them on a basic level.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm keeping it real. Keeping it real here.
Yeah, keep it real. Keep it real.
But seriously, I mean, and it's like, for Darkside Phil, I mean, like, rest in peace on his channel. I mean, yeah, he has DSP Gaming, but I don't think it'll be the same. But, anyway.
It's never the same.
Yeah, but he was always having problems with YouTube being like, if we showed like one boobie, like a little nipple, it'd be like, you're done, like you're out. And it's like, and then he played games like God of War where he just rips people apart, and like probably is that like his most violent game? I don't even know, like what.
Fallout 3 is like almost as equally violent. You shoot someone and their like head explodes, and you see eyeballs flying all over the fucking place.
It's just like, and okay, they're both virtual, like, they're both virtual things, or virtual violence and virtual boobs. It's like, so I don't see the difference in terms of detail or whatever. It's just,
Yeah, me either. Well, and another thing, I mean,
Your kids, anybody can access YouTube. Your kids can, go see the violence, like, but they can't see some boobies, even though you can find boobies on the internet so easily now.
well, I mean, even on YouTube, I mean, I guess you could argue that it's different, different expressions of nudity, but at the same time, you can go on YouTube and you can watch a full gynecological exam, where you can actually see, the gynecologist put the speculum in the vagina, nothing censored, because it's like it's for the purpose of information. It's an informational purpose. This is like an informative thing. But at the same time, it's like you kind of wonder, like, people who would complain about nudity